Are your Google Ads site links burning money without you even knowing? Most advertisers set up site links thinking they're boosting performance, but if you're not careful, they could be costing you a fortune by sending traffic to low converting pages. Site links are one of the most powerful assets in Google Ads. They help you dominate ad real estate, increase click-through rates, and can even boost conversions by shortening the path to action. But if you're not analyzing their true impact, you might be throwing money away. Hey, I'm Sam from Atomic Marketing, and today I'm going to show you how you can measure the true performance of your site links and some advanced tips for optimizing your Google Ads site link assets. In this video, we'll cover how to evaluate site link performance properly beyond high-level metrics like clicks and CTR, and why testing and optimizing these elements are key to improving campaign performance. Let's dive in. Okay, so let's start off by learning where to go to actually review your site link data. So log into your Google Ads account, select a campaign of your choice, and then go to the left-hand panel here, click on Assets, and then click on Sitelink. Here you'll see the aggregated performance data like clicks, impressions, CTR, and all the other metrics for each site link. But you want to be careful because these top-level numbers don't actually give you the full picture. So the clicks and CTR that you see here aren't actually for the site link itself. Rather, they reflect the ad performance when this site link appeared. So to get a true data, or to get the true data on how each site link is performing, you'll need to use the segment function, which you can find here in this corner. You want to click on segment, and then you want to select this extension versus other. Now this view will break down the performance of each site link itself rather than the other elements of the ad, if that makes sense. So now that you've segmented the data, you'll see two rows other than this extension. This extension shows you the actual performance of the site link itself. So the clicks, the CTR, the conversions, and all the other metrics associated with this extension are for when the site link was clicked. Other represents the performance of the other ad elements that weren't the site link, okay? So this is really the row that you need to be paying attention to when reviewing your site link data. And this step is really critical because in some cases, what you'll notice is that the initial data suggested had a high CTR. It might have had a lot of clicks. It might have had a high conversion rate, lots of conversions. But what you may find is that the site link itself, when you review this extension row data here, only actually had a CTR of, say, 1.81% when the previous data suggested 10%. And what gets doubly concerning is that when you then go to check the conversion rate for each site link's destination page, you may actually find that you've got a much lower conversion rate. So you can see let's see if we can find an example in this instance here, the CR before and afters. You can see in this instance, the conversion rate is actually 8.53% compared to 25%. So from here, you want to check the conversion rate for each site link's destination page, because if the page isn't performing well, it could be because it's not optimized for conversions. So remember, the goal is to take users to a high value pages that convert, whether that's a landing page or a page with more informational content about your service. And what you'll find is that a lot of advertisers or people new to Google Ads, or even experienced people as well, will just put site links into different pages on the website, but none of these pages are actually optimized for conversions. And so what you'll find is that in a hidden way, you're getting a lot of traffic through your ad, and it's going through your site link and not converting because it's not going to a page that you've actually, considered as one of the pages that you want to get that conversion on, which is more a case if you're like all in on landing pages. But If you've got these sub pages on your website which are not converting and you're using them as site links, here's where you can actually see the true performance of that, because at a top level, you don't get to see any of this. But anyway, I digress. So now that we've got the true performance data for each site link, it's time for us to start optimizing and taking a little bit of a closer look at everything. So if you notice a site link with a low CTR or a low conversion rate, consider replacing it. And you want to make sure, like, if it is a low conversion rate, that kind of then falls down to the page itself and the context of the site link to taking that person to that page. But what you want, in its most basic form, you want site links to lead to pages that are highly relevant and conversion focused at the same time. So one effective strategy that we use to boost conversions is directing all of our site links to the same dedicated landing page as the main ad. This way, we're keeping visitors focused on the page with the highest chance of conversion, if that makes sense. However, Google doesn't always allow identical URLs, and for both the ad and all the different site links, like you just can't put the same URL in all the different site links. Now, one workaround to this is we create something called anchor links. And these are URLs that link to specific sections of the same landing page. So if I show you an example here, you can see here we use this sort of hashtag, and then we select an element from within the page. And when we add that as a site link, that will actually take you to the specific section of the page. It will be different on the different types of websites that you build your landing pages in, but this is something that we find works for us. And I'm sure if you're using WordPress unbounced, there's loads of different ways in which you can add anchor text and section links. That way, this keeps everything pointed to the same high converting landing page that we took all the time to build, whilst also getting around Google's requirements as well. So remember, the key thing here is to test different things. Swap out your underperforming site links, monitor the impact, and optimize based on what brings you the most results for your campaign. So now that you know how to access the true data of each site link using this extension segment, let's talk about another practical way to apply this information to boost performance. So one of the best practices that we use to compare the CTR and conversion rates of different site links is to see what's actually resonating with users. And like having all these different types of site links will give us a much better insight into what people actually want to click on, if that makes sense, and ultimately drive conversions as well. For example, here you can see in one of our campaigns, we have this site link, which is a 100% money back guarantee, which we thought, oh, wow, that's going to do really, really well. And you can see in comparison to all the others, it's actually the worst performing in terms of CTR. We've got 0.07%. So while we thought, hey, well, that's a heck of a good value proposition to include as a site link to get people through, but no one's clicking it. And, it's still getting a fair amount of impressions, but no one seems to be clicking on it. So that would be a site link that we think, okay, maybe we need to come back to this and think about something else. And you can see when we compare the different site links, our best performing one is this one, get a quote in seconds. I think that's a pretty compelling site link. It's got 1.81%. And here's the thing, like, you're not going to get these CTRs, which are anywhere close to what you saw from the main aggregated data screen, 10%, 1.81. So just kind of look at them in comparison with the other site links that you have and use that as a benchmarks to get an idea for how well the site link's doing. And then kind of just model off of the existing ones that are doing well to think about what other ideas that you could be taking in and applying to your site links. In another example, actually, it's not in this account, but we used a site link for a roofing company that said view our gallery. So imagine another site link in here just says view our gallery. And we thought this would drive traffic from purchase-ready homeowners who are really interested in seeing the company's work. However, what we found was the conversion rate for this particular site link was only 2.98% compared to the campaign average of 10%. And this is where it gets quite, I would say funny, but it's not actually that funny. When I checked the site link URL, it turned out we were not actually using a gallery feature on the page. So it was no wonder that the conversion rate was so low, because we had view our gallery and the page didn't have a gallery, and our section link didn't take them to a gallery on the page, and there wasn't even a gallery. So just like a heads up as well, to understand the context of if someone's looking for a gallery page and you try and send them to a generic landing page which doesn't necessarily have that content, it's probably not going to convert very well. And we've since fixed that. So, but it's good to check on that stuff and, just have an awareness of where your traffic is actually going, whether it is for different pages or different sections within an existing landing page. So by analyzing CTR and conversion rates for each site link, you can better understand what users are actually interested in clicking on. And ultimately, this data lets you tailor your site links to meet users' intent and maximize the likelihood of them taking the desired action on the page. And so, again, if you notice site links underperforming, just consider testing an alternative that aligns more closely with your audience's needs and motivations, I suppose. So to wrap things up, don't just add site links and forget about them. Regularly review their performance. Use this extension versus other segment to see the real story behind your site links, and focus on driving your traffic to pages that convert. So if you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe for more Google Ads tips, and let me know in the comments if you've seen any results by optimizing your own site links, or if you've found some value in this video and you've managed to check out some of your performance and found something interesting. I'd love to hear about it. So hope this is useful, and see you in the next video.